Hey everybody, welcome back to a Denton County weather forecast, and this afternoon what we're looking at is the potential for some severe storms across portions of western DFW this afternoon and potentially this evening as well. And we already have an area that we're watching very closely, which is just north of the Red River, but there have been very strong storms already this morning, and we're going to see that throughout the afternoon. So I'll break down everything you need to know. Almost all of DFW will see storms at some point within the next 12 to 24 hours, so you do need to make sure you're being monitoring the weather at least here over the next several hours, as we will have that chance for some strong, potentially severe storms. So as of right now, here's the look at the entire state of Texas. We're looking at a slight risk in Midland and Abilene, so central and portions of southern and southwestern Texas are seeing a slight risk of severe storms that mainly has the threat for some large hail the size of golf balls or maybe even a little bit higher, and as well as damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and I can't even rule out an isolated tornado in that yellow shaded region, which does include Abilene. The areas in the green shaded areas have that risk for just damaging winds and maybe some large hail as well along with that. Obviously, the green shading is marginal, so it just means that it's a low-end risk, but it still does exist, so you definitely need to be monitoring the weather pretty closely. We already have a severe thunderstorm warning out here near Midland, but we're going to probably see a pretty active afternoon, even though it's only a slight and marginal risk. It is a pretty large area that we're looking at. The risk for DFW, it does include actually now northwestern Denton County, so this does include most of northwestern DFW. It goes all the way out to Breckenridge, Graham, Bowie, as well as Wichita Falls are all included in this marginal risk, and you can see some storms already. They've been firing up for the last few hours. We see some here near just over the north of the Red River near Wichita Falls. Those storms could even have some small hail, maybe some damaging winds with those. So obviously no severe storms at this time, but we'll have to monitor those pretty closely. There's also a storm just north of Graham that just formed, and it's been pretty strong pretty quickly. So this is kind of what's going to be like this afternoon. We'll see a lot of storms forming in this general area here of DFW, and as those do develop, they'll push off to the north, but we will eventually see storms move off to the east as well. But the storm motion will be to the north, so just keep that in mind. But again, a lot's going to happen this afternoon. We'll have to monitor this pretty closely. All right, let's go ahead and break down the future radar and everything you need to know for what is expected today. So 2-3 o'clock, we should stay fairly dry here in the Metroplex. I think that there could be some storms back off to the west. There also could be some back off to the north, but I don't really anticipate anything in the 4-county Metroplex, at least until about 5-6 o'clock. That will probably be the first couple of storms might start getting closer to the Metroplex. You can see 5, 6, 7 o'clock, a little line, or really more of a cluster of storms starts to push toward the Metroplex. This very well could have some damaging winds and maybe some hail as well. Obviously, not really much of the 4-county Metroplex is in any sort of severe risk potential today, at least right now, but I can't really rule out maybe a potential for maybe an isolated severe storm in one of these little cells, because there will be a lot of storms pushing toward the Metroplex. But you see 8, 9 o'clock, eventually we'll go out after daylight heating, so we very well could just see, just a few storms pushing into the Metroplex that aren't nearly as strong. So 10 and 11 o'clock, you see those storms continue to push off to the east and to the south as well. Storms enter the Metroplex. A lot more rain more than anything, but definitely some rumbles of thunder will be very likely with these storms, and potentially some strong storms still. See, going through the day tomorrow, it will stay fairly dry through the morning hours, but you can see more storms are going to be possible during the afternoon. And then eventually going into Saturday, we'll see potential for maybe some more storms before finally drying out most likely by Sunday. All right, quick look at the temperatures as well for today. So you can see highs will top off in the upper 80s. It will feel much more like the mid to upper 90s because of the humidity that we have outside. But you can see the temperatures will drop pretty significantly if you do see any storms. You'd see by 6 o'clock tomorrow, most of our lows will be anywhere from really right around 59 degrees all the way up to 72 here in Dallas. So 59 is really closer to Abilene more than anything. You see, going through the day tomorrow, temperatures will likely get back up into the mid 80s. Now again, it was actually supposed to be the mid 70s. Now it's back to the mid 80s. Bit of a change in the forecast, but we will see 70s eventually for highs. Don't worry about that. You can see going through the overnight hours Saturday, going into Saturday morning, excuse me. Temperatures by the morning hours will be closer to the lower to mid 70s here in the Metroplex, upper to mid 60s back off west. And then you can see highs for Saturday will actually be pretty nice. A lot of us will be in the upper 70s and lower 80s. The only downfall is we'll still have humidity sticking around. You can see by dew points. Today, dew points will be in the low 70s, upper 60s. Going tomorrow, dew points will actually be higher. And eventually by Saturday, we'll probably start to see a dwindle in those dew points going through the afternoon hours. So it should actually shape out to be a pretty nice Saturday for you. All right, quick look at the overall rain totals over the next several days. Most of us will actually reach at least an inch or two, if not potentially closer to 3 to 4 inches. Localized areas could have more closer to 4 to 5. So definitely some heavy rain is going to be possible out of these storms as well. Quick look at the 7-day forecast. I would go ahead and change this so it's just 50% here and 60% here. But besides that, temperatures will still be in the upper 80s today, maybe some lower 90s. It will feel a lot hotter. You can also see for Friday, temperatures again lower 80s, most likely across the Metroplex, maybe some mid 80s as well. Saturday, temperatures will start to dwindle down back into the upper 70s for highs. Lows will still be in the 60s, you can see by Saturday. And then eventually by Sunday, we'll start drying out, and the temperatures will actually have a downward trend. You can see by Wednesday, 75 degrees for your high temperature. And it looks like the day will be beautiful as well. I don't anticipate any shower or storm chances then. This forecast is brought to you by DFW Roofing Pro.